Okay, so when I say the name Edgar Degas, what's the first image that pops into your head? For pretty much all of us, it's the dancers, right? The soft light, the tutus, the whole graceful world of the Paris Opera Ballet. Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that image and find a much more complex and, frankly, more interesting artist hiding in plain sight.
And yeah, here it is, the picture we all know and love. A dancer, just perfectly poised, bathed in this beautiful light. It's a moment of pure elegance. This is the Degas we see in museums, the one on all the postcards, the master of beauty. But that's not even close to the whole story.
What if I told you that all this polished beauty, the finished performance, that wasn't what he really cared about? What if it was just the side effect of something way grittier, something much more real? So first things first, let's just clear up the biggest myth about him. He was friends with the Impressionists. He even showed his work in their exhibitions. But if you called him one, well, he wouldn't have been too happy about it.
He flat out rejected that Impressionist label. See, his whole goal wasn't to capture some fleeting, blurry impression of a moment. Nope, he wanted to study reality, take it apart, and then reconstruct it. He was a realist, through and through.
And believe me, the difference is huge. While his buddies like Monet were outside, chasing the light and painting haystacks, Degas was indoors. He'd go and watch scenes for sure, but then he'd go back to his studio and paint them from memory, focusing like a scientist on how the human body actually moves. And that obsession with movement, that brings us right back to his favorite subject, the dancers. But the sheer volume of his work on this one topic, it tells you everything you need to know about how deep this obsession went. 50%, just let that sink in for a second. About half of everything he ever made was about ballet dancers. So the question is why? Why this lifelong fascination? I can tell you one thing, it definitely wasn't for the glamour. This is what the audience in Paris paid to see. The perfect, flawless illusion, the magic of the finished product on stage. But this is what Degas saw. This is what he was truly obsessed with. I mean, just look closely. These aren't graceful performances. This is work. You've got dancers stretching, yawning, fixing their shoes, just waiting around. It looks exhausting and repetitive and totally unglamorous. You see, at his core, he was painting work. He didn't see these dancers as little fairies floating on a stage. He saw them as working-class girls who were putting their bodies through grueling, endless hours of practice, all for that one brief moment of perfection the audience gets to see. He painted the sweat, the effort, the raw physicality of it all. Now, to get this raw reality onto the canvas, Degas had to develop a style that was, for his time, completely radical. He wasn't just painting modern subjects, he was seeing the world in a whole new, modern way. And he was pulling inspiration from two kind of surprising new places: the brand new medium of photography and these amazing, bold Japanese woodblock prints that were just starting to arrive in Europe. Just take a look at this painting. I mean, it feels like a snapshot, right? The way that dancer on the left is just sliced off by the edge of the frame, and the weird, high-up angle we're looking from, it's almost like we're spying on them. This was not how you were supposed to compose a painting back then. It was new and a little bit shocking. He got really, really good at this thing called asymmetry. Basically, instead of putting everything neatly balanced in the middle of the painting, he threw it all off-center. It makes you, the viewer, feel like you've just glanced into a room and caught a real, candid moment happening right in front of you. It's brilliant. So, this totally unique, almost stubborn way of painting, well, it was a perfect reflection of the man himself. You really can't understand the art without understanding the artist. I mean, to put it simply, his art was his entire life, full stop. There was just no room for anything else. And that intense focus shaped everything about him. And yeah, he wasn't exactly Mr. Social. People who knew him said he was incredibly witty, but also kind of sharp-tongued and biting. He was intensely private, and as he got older, he pretty much withdrew from society. He was just a man who'd rather be alone in his studio observing than making small talk at a party. So he really chose this solitary path, never married, kept his social circle tiny. He built his life to make sure that absolutely nothing could get in the way of his work. No distractions, just the work. Which brings us back to this. It's the perfect metaphor for who he was, right? Like that older man watching the rehearsal from the side. Degas was the ultimate observer, always standing a little bit apart, watching everything with this cool, analytical, and profoundly realistic eye. So the next time you find yourself in front of one of his famous ballet paintings, I want you to try something. Look past the pretty tutus. Look for the yawn. Look for the dancer slouched over in exhaustion. Look for the strange, cropped-off figure in the corner, because that's where you'll find the real Edgar Degas, the unflinching observer of real life. So, what do you see now?